talking trash.
They're all gonna laugh at
The evil is free.
you! In her soul, she's as common as dirt!
Hello.
Cinéma de merde.
Hey, this is Scott from Cinema de Merde, and I'm dressed as a cowboy for no reason. Today we're going to talk about the blessing of basket case. This is from 1981. It's directed by Frank Henenlotter. It stars Kevin Van Hentenryck, Terry Susan Smith, and Beverly Bonner. And as usual, there's going to be some nasty language and gory images and stuff in this video cast, so if you're at work, you want to listen with headphones, and you want to take the small, innocent, tender children away. This movie is a horror comedy classic. That's all there is to it. You need to watch it, and you need to watch it now. If you have no idea what it's about, I'm going to recommend that you protect your innocence and just turn this video cast off now. Just know that it's a really bizarre and hilarious horror film that you're unlikely to forget. Just get a bunch of friends together and the bottle of the poison of your choice and gather around the old boob tube. You won't be sorry. But if you want to stick around a little more, I'll give you a little sense of what this movie's about. This movie concerns the case of Dwayne and his deformed brother Belial, Siamese twins who were separated at the age of like 14 or something. Belial looks like a head with a small, monstrous hand and a larger arm. He's got these big teeth. They put a picture of him on the DVD box, and that kind of annoyed me because if you're seeing this for the first time, it really helps not to know what he looks like. When they're separating them, one of the doctors who's performing the operation, who's a veterinarian by the way, says of Belial,
"I'm not even sure it's human."
And you can tell from his reaction that he's just so hurt. You know, people shouldn't say hurtful things. As the doctors find out when the enraged, deformed head, hand, mouth thing comes and hunts them down and brutally murders them one by one. Okay, everything from this point on can be considered a spoiler. Spoiler. So if you haven't seen it, I warned you and you're only hurting yourself. But you'll live. One of the best things about this movie is the Hotel Broslin and its residents. This is the cheap Times Square Fleabag hotel that Dwayne takes up in while trying to locate the doctors that operated on him. The hotel features a bunch of wild characters who don't seem that far off from what you'd imagine would be staying in a sleazy Fleabag motel in Times Square in 1982. First there's Josephine, who meets Dwayne in the hallway and starts yakking his ear off with this bizarre story, then suddenly turns and walks away without another word.
She paid her bill and left. No one's heard from her since.
Then this Patti LaBelle clone steps into his room to look around and make passes. She later has a notable quote with,
"I've got some heavy boozing to do."
There's also the owner of the hotel and some of its residents.
You by yourself?
Yes, alone, by myself.
All alone in this cold, cruel world.
What I love about the first third of this movie is that every character introduces themselves with this extended soliloquy. These people had to learn some lines for this shit. And then there's Dwayne. This movie's clearly on the cusp of the 80s as Dwayne's hair is this big sort of Rick Springfield thing, just kind of huge and lumpy. He has a long scene where he's required to whip out the acting chops, and whether he does or not, I won't reveal, in which he's supposed to have a long psychic conversation with his deformed brother. Oh, did I mention that the deformed head-hand thing is psychic? I also love the scene where Dwayne's bought a TV for Belial to watch while he goes out on his hot date. You can see that he just kind of turns it on and doesn't even check to see there's a picture before he's out of there.
Got it on 14th Street. Even has a guarantee. Listen, I don't know how long I'll be.
And let us not forget the splendor of Sharon, the receptionist. Sharon's a desperate New York woman in the Miss Piggy mold with this obvious wig and slightly chunky body, and she's a hoot and 9/10 of another hoot throughout. When she first sees Dwayne, she mistakes him for the typewriter repairman, and this is what she says.
Yesterday it was squeaking, like if a mouse was caught inside. Real high-pitched.
Like...
Then the way she just throws herself at Dwayne is amazing, as is the sudden affection she feels for him after meeting him for like 3 seconds in the doctor's office. Then there's the scene where he throws her out of his room and she's pounding on the door wanting to talk about their relationship and work it all out while she's hearing the bestial screams of this deranged monster going on inside.
Dwayne!
Damn you!
Dwayne, talk to me, please!
Damn you! Damn you! Damn you! God. Ew. Why?
You know, you really shouldn't give up on love. Some things take time to work out. How do you keep the music playing? She also later has a notable delivery of,
Take me, Dwayne.
and let me tell you, one look at Dwayne ain't nobody asked him to take them nothing unless it's to take him a 6-pack of beer from the corner bodega. There are a number of magical moments that must be dissected individually.
Mr. Wade?
When the landlord's trying to get into Dwayne's room and he's hearing all these screams inside, watch how none of the characters are moving their mouths even though we're hearing the murmur of an angry, confused mob.
I don't know why.
Having surgically removed Dwayne's conjoined twin, they just throw him in a garbage bag and toss him out with the trash. Dwayne later literally garbage picks his deformed brother out of the trash. There is some kind of sexual subtext going on here, but I'm not sure it really holds together well enough to really examine. If I had to guess, I would say that Belial represents Dwayne's dick. And isn't it always the dick? And that the whole movie is really about masturbation. I guess it's because he shares a bond with it, but others are telling him it's disgusting and he needs to give it up and move on to sex with real women. There is one shot at the end that is unmistakably Belial as Dick. This exact theme is carried through much more fully in the director's next film, Brain Damage, which is about this guy who has this alien worm who lives on his body, feeding him hallucinogenic drugs and making him feel really good so long as he lets him go out and eat people's brains from time to time. There is sure to be a whole other video cast about Brain Damage as soon as my friend gives me my DVD back. Regardless, this movie is one of the top 10 total hoots of all time, and you need to go get it right now. Once more, this is Scott from Cinema to Merde, where you'll find lots of other reviews and videocasts and podcasts and writing and funny stuff and pictures and links and all sorts of other shit. Go there now. It's CINEMADEMERDE. Alright, thank you for watching and we'll see you next time. Bye.